Are you ready to unlock the secrets of personal branding and innovation? Today, we're thrilled to welcome Al Kushner to our show. Al is a celebrated thought leader, award-winning author, and a trailblazer in AI-driven strategies that are reshaping the way we connect, grow, and lead. With a knack for turning complex ideas into actionable insight, Al empowers individuals and organizations to stand out and thrive in an evolving world. In this episode, Al will share practical strategies for building a distinctive personal brand, insight into harnessing AI for growth, and inspiration to help you push boundaries and transform your path forward. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a leader, or somebody eager to step into the future with confidence, this conversation promises to ignite your next breakthrough. And don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, or leave us a review. Now, let's jump into a warm welcome to Al Kushner.
So why don't we go into your background a little bit? Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm an author. My new book is called The AI LinkedIn Advantage. It talks about how to use AI to use it strategically for LinkedIn to help basically raise your awareness on the platform, to provide content for articles or for scripts. And I've been on LinkedIn for over 20 years. So I've been pretty well adapted to the platform. And I've seen it grown over the years. It's been really amazing way to connect with people as we are connected right now, which is amazing. It has over 900 million users. So it's definitely a platform worth being part of. So I did some research on books that are out in the marketplace. I didn't find any book that talked about both LinkedIn and the AI together. So I decided to write a book about it, and really made sense and resonated well with a lot of my clients. And it's really been exciting to be part of the industry of being a thought leader, I would say.
It's a great field to be in, especially nowadays there's so much availability for thought leaders right now in terms of technology and ways to apply it and just bringing new ideas to the market. LinkedIn is definitely a place that everybody should be on if they're trying to do anything in business. So why don't you break down what the AI advantage is, what your LinkedIn advantage actually does at a personal level?
Well, the fact is that it makes your ability to create content, which is always something that is important on the platform. The algorithm loves when you provide a content. So with AI technology, you can actually look for articles or create articles or ideas for articles or scripts. But it can also do more than that. It can help optimize your profile, because that's the most important thing on LinkedIn, is to have a profile that's optimized in a way that encourages people to want to connect with you. Because LinkedIn is a really big search engine, if you think about it, and it has so many things that you can find, whether you're looking for a job or you're looking for job opportunities, or a business owner looking to connect with potential clients. But everything about your profile pretty much says about who you are. So you really need to kind of take the time to invest in it. It sounds like you're laughing a little bit, because you're probably looking at your profile and saying it could use also some optimization.
Yeah, especially when it comes to my business portfolio. I kind of stayed off of LinkedIn because at the start of this, I wasn't really starting a business at the start of it. Like, I was focused on building up my content, and now focused on entrepreneurship and building businesses with my content as a backbone, essentially, and marketing tool. Great marketing tool if anybody wants to get out there. Just throw up some content people really resonate with, especially if you're passionate about it. So what are some of the tools that we can leverage on LinkedIn that would work to help increase visibility on your...
Well, to increase visibility is to be a content creator. So you should create articles. Ideally, you should create a newsletter that can help establish yourself as a thought leader. Reach out to the AI to generate, depending on your niche. In your example, you're looking for, let's say, a guest for your program, would you say? So what you would do is you would create, for example, under your name, like a title, which could include, content creator, but focusing more on, podcast entrepreneur. You could focus on getting information to people who want to learn more about you. So it's about the information that's going to be of value to whoever's connecting with you. For example, you have a background image that you can use as a billboard, promote your particular services about your particular podcast. Could be a great way to highlight some of the things that you offer. look at your bio, look at other things, and AI can help create the content that makes it more appealing with keywords that will help to find you on, or people find you on LinkedIn. That really makes a difference. So that's
Make sure your SEO optimized. That's for sure.
exactly. And I would do that first before you're doing any type of outreach, because that really is going to be something that is going to hold you back. So don't go out on LinkedIn and start posting and tagging and whatever. And then because people, as soon as you're going to look at your profile, who is this guy? It's
As
really,
soon as the first thing I do is make sure my AIs are all SEO driven. So if anything comes out of them, it's SEO optimized as it can be for the most part. But that's just because it's reach. That's how you get reach right now is search everything, and everything's on search engine optimization. So let's get into the authenticity, like how we can make the tools actually be with us. So like act as us, because that's one of the things I feel isn't represented in the online space. Everybody's going out and building these AI things, but they're keeping it generic. They're not making it to themselves. How do we keep the information on LinkedIn be AI generated on LinkedIn from being authentic to who the business is, to who the person is, as opposed to just the generic stuff that you can get everywhere?
the fact is that you want to customize the prompts that you're giving the AI technology to be more specific in your posts that you're going to be doing. And you want to be able to make it sound authentic, but sound like you're saying it yourself and how you would say. So even though AI is giving you an example, don't use that example and post immediately. Revise it in a way that sounds like you. And also use prompts that are more informative. Sometimes the AI doesn't know what you really want to say, and then you're talking something about in general, which doesn't really give any value to whoever you're going to post it on. So you have to put your own efforts into it. But you'll find by doing it, AI really lifts your content. And then you have at least an idea. A lot of people get writer's block and they can't think of anything. Well, AI, guess what? Can give you 100 ideas for articles or way to structure your content that's going to be informative. And that really is something that's a game changer to me, because when I look at what people post on LinkedIn, a lot of times they really don't put a lot of thought into it. I would say 9 out of 10 times it's really narcissistic post for the most part.
Yep.
It's about me, and that's not the way you do on LinkedIn. It's about give. And when you do that, you'll find that people will, follow you and maybe comment on your post. And if you provide the value, you'll find you'll gain a lot more followers that way and more interest. Some people say put a little human element into it. I would say maybe once a month if you want to showcase something, a little bit about yourself, that's fine. Everybody is different, but the fact is that you can provide a lot of value. And if you do, you'll find people will be more receptive to your post and also look forward to receiving it. If you have a newsletter, they'll look forward to getting newsletters. I send out newsletters every week and people are commenting on it, so I know it's working. I also make videos, which I post to groups, which also creates a value to the members of those groups itself. So that's also helping too. So it's a combination of things that really give you the ability to become a thought leader on the platform.
So let's dive into that a little bit. So what makes LinkedIn a better posting platform as opposed to like Instagram or TikTok for leaders? Because there is a lot of people doing that as well. But for business content, I understand that LinkedIn is more business content oriented, but how am I trying to phrase this? What's the distinction between?
Well, every platform has its strengths and weaknesses. I would say Instagram is great for video posting and for branding and such. Facebook has a certain amount of people, certainly the largest amount of people on its platform. But I guess that platform was more geared towards people who are not in business per se, as opposed to LinkedIn, which is more business orientated. So when looking at it, you have to say what kind of industry you're in. For example, you're a podcast, right? So what would be the best platform to do? So I would say YouTube videos would be great. I would say possibly TikTok videos. LinkedIn also has an opportunity to post videos, and the videos on LinkedIn do become more favorable with the algorithm. So that's also to your advantage. And if you're trying to connect with potential guests on the program, I think LinkedIn is definitely the way to go, because that's where they can
Mhm.
find. If you want to find business owners, they're going to be on LinkedIn. They're not mostly going to be on Instagram for the most part. So if you want to reach those individuals, LinkedIn, by having a profile optimized, so when they do searches, like I reached out to you, the idea is that I find out what's in your title and if you are accepting guests, and that provides an opportunity to be on the program. And that's something that, LinkedIn does have that unique feature, particularly with their paid version of LinkedIn called Sales Navigator.
Mhm.
You can actually find out individuals who are, let's say, accepting podcast guests. And then you can also find out the industry that they're in. If they're in your industry and that they accept guests, these are things that you can use with the Sales Navigator tool, which is really quite a premium product. You also find out who's checked out your profile, which is a great feature, as well as finding out when people are posting, if they are active on LinkedIn, which is most important. A lot of people are not
Mhm.
active. You know anybody who's not active on LinkedIn?
I, I'm not active from LinkedIn. I
Okay,
throw up a
good.
post here or there, but I don't really engage.
Exactly. Well, Sales Navigator would tell me whether you're active or not. And that actually could be, if you just be active once a week, you can at least show up as being active. If it has been months, it'll show on it that you haven't been active. And a lot of people won't do an outreach because they think that you're out of business or something. So that is important to note, that be at least once a week active. There's no reason not to be. I mean, suddenly with
Mhm.
AI technology, creating a post is like, it's a no-brainer. That's really should be a given. So these are things that are important when you're looking to use the platform strategically, is to engage at least once a week, update your profile at least every quarter, and just whoever is responding to you, don't post and ghost. A lot of people do
Yeah.
that, and you want to avoid that. You want to try to respond in a timely fashion, and you'll find that people will appreciate that very well. So
Yeah.
that's just some tips right off the bat.
So one of the first things I do is I make sure I respond to everybody, because you never know what you're going to find, especially as a podcaster looking. My whole idea, my whole thing is I just like to follow my curiosity. So when I find somebody I'm curious about, I just start asking questions and see if they want to have a chat. And I didn't even know that LinkedIn had a lot of those features. So it's really good. I need to figure out how to engage in that with everything else I'm doing. The problem with posting on LinkedIn mainly is I have every other platform to post on, and I have to tailor it to each one. So it becomes a little bit cumbersome on my side. However, I am building an AI to help me with that. So hopefully one day I can just press a button, it'll feed to everything, and I don't have to worry about it. Can you go into a little bit more of digital networking, like how LinkedIn is connecting people? Because I really am interested in how I get my feeds, why they're recommending certain people to me. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like I know them, but I'm getting requests and things. Do you know how those trends work and how that forms together?
Well, I mean, the LinkedIn algorithm trying to put people together who may be living in the same region, the same area, or they went to the same school, but it's not necessarily ideal. I mean, you don't want to accept every invitation that comes out to you for the most part, because that's representative value. And most time, people who are reaching out to you, all they want to do is pitch slap you.
Yeah.
And guess what? You don't need that. And the fact is that you need to really be strategic in who you're connecting with. And also, if you're doing any outreach, also optimize your profile before you do any type of outreach. Because again, the same people are reaching out to you, look at their profile, and you find it's a disaster. You don't want to accept them. And you're also in the same boat. You have to really do that as part of the outreach. But you'll find that once your profile is optimized, you'll find the right people who want to reach out to you. Example, someone who's an author, or someone who is maybe a guest that wants to be on your program, they'll see that you're someone to continue with, you're serious about doing it. And most importantly is to focus in on recommendations on your profile, which is, I would say, critical when you're doing any outreach. And you got to focus in on whoever has been on your program. For example, after this program, well, I'm going to leave you a testimonial, which you can use as a recommendation for that, and vice versa. But that's part of whatever you're engaging with someone. You try to be proactive with that, because the third-party endorsements help you develop your ability to be, someone that is worth being on the program. In addition, you should create a separate company page if you don't have one already, which also establish yourself as a credible individual. So you want to be able to have a separate business page, and then you post on the business page as well. And I would keep it mostly to business type posts. It could be any type of event that you've done, or maybe an award you received. And just having it somewhat active is helpful, because it just shows the individual who's connecting with you that person is in business and they are, someone to work with, which is normal. So
I need to get on this. I'm realizing. Right.
you have to
Yeah.
focus it on what I do is you can't be everywhere at once, right? And you got to focus it on what is more important. In your type of field, I would say LinkedIn should be more emphasis than any other platform, to be honest with you, because if you want to make connections with people who want to be on your program, or if you want to grow your particular business, you want to be able to have a presence on the platform, because a lot of times people will go under your name and search under it. And a lot of times it'll come up at LinkedIn associated with that profile because of the high authority that LinkedIn gives. So when people Google your name, first thing they do is most likely is find your LinkedIn profile. And guess what? Go right directly there. So just think about it. Once it's optimized, that's great, because it actually helps increase traffic over to your website, as well as other things that are really important. So people need to really kind of focus. My book talks about that, how to optimize the profile, how to get resources like AI technology to help create articles, content, and make your profile look polished. And also particularly with outreach too, which helps, because once your profile is optimized, you want to reach out to maybe a potential guest on your program, and you can connect with them by simply having the AI create content to invite them on the program and give reasons why. And that would be very helpful. So this is just part of a strategy that works well for your industry.
Very fair. Let's go into your background a little bit. What made you? It sounds like you love many words in my head. LinkedIn a lot. Where is this passion coming from? Where do you get this from?
Well, what I did was I realized that when I started in the industry, I was in insurance sales, going back many years, and I needed a way to connect with people that I don't have to travel to. And LinkedIn definitely is a great networking platform, because it allows you to connect with people who are my target audience, which are accountants and would say other referral partners, even insurance agents. And that was the place to be. It needed to be an expert in that, because if I was able to grow, then that was really the platform to grow with. And LinkedIn has grown since its inception back, I think, in 2005, and it was taken over by Microsoft, and it really has grown exponentially. So I really was, grateful to be part of that wave of being at the right time 20 years ago, because if somebody said 20 years ago, LinkedIn is going to be as big as LinkedIn, or big as Facebook, then I'd say you're crazy. It's just small, it's niche, but now it's not. It's a contender. And in fact, it's beating a lot of the other platforms, particularly for networking opportunities. So it's really an amazing thing. So if you become more comfortable with it, it'll serve you well.
That's very fair. How did you get into insurance? Like, why did you get into insurance first?
Well, I was in school, and I was hired as the telephone solicitor for an insurance agent, and I was really good on the phone. And I made cold calls at the time. I was just 20 years old, and I said, maybe I should just get my license. People are hiring me, and I didn't have no problem in making cold calls. Since this is back in the day when there was no caller ID and they used regular phones, and you can get the person on the line pretty easily. But since that time, and I always wanted to work for myself, so I was always independent. I never worked for anybody else since I was 21. And I had no regrets. And that was something that, in order for me to continue that way, I need to be able to think like an entrepreneur. And that's what I've done. And I wrote this book. I wrote other books as well. And it really helped set me apart from the competition, because when you are an author, you're an expert. And I'm in demand in a lot of organizations and associations for speaking opportunities, which is awesome. And I could never have done that, especially with the technology nowadays. It's so much easier to create a book that really it levels the playing field, I would say. So that really was what inspired me.
I actually also co-authoring a book as well, to just bring out some clout and say, hey, like, this is who I am, just to kind of put me in a better position for more authority on the subject. I'm also trying to build a book on how to design a UI or an interface for everybody. So I hope to be up there one day with you and hopefully have some decent sales.
Yeah.
In terms of, yeah, go ahead.
No, good. So,
just in terms of like entrepreneurship, where do you see the world heading? Like, for me, entrepreneurship is this new thing. I only started on this path about four months ago. But it's like, this is what the world needs to change and to be better. And from my perspective, where do you see the future of entrepreneurship?
well, I always see there is the demand. I think nowadays it's much easier to become an entrepreneur back compared to 20 years ago. For example, the growth of certain industries like prompt engineering has been a growth industry. Influencers, or really popular. That never existed 20 years ago. So, and they're entrepreneurs as well. Just think about it. You've got your famous celebrities out there who are promoting products, and it's unimaginable that a lot of times they don't have a college degree or anything else other than one trick pony. But guess what? They're milking it for what it's worth. And now you've got OnlyFans also. They're entrepreneurs. Go figure. So the time is now to be an entrepreneur, I would think, than it was years ago. So it's definitely going.
The barrier to entry is as low as it's ever been, and it probably is going to get even cheaper, which is ridiculous. Build your apps now because they're not going to be worth anything in the future. But it is a thought I've been having, because I do build a lot of apps now because it's so easy. But eventually the AI will get smart enough to not need somebody else to build it, I think.
A lot of industries have been eliminated because of AI technology. An example is voice talent. Back in the day, when you wanted to create a book and make an audiobook version of it, you have to hire a voice talent, and that's costs a lot of money and also a lot of time and efforts. And nowadays, you can use AI technology to create voice talent, and not just in English, but in other languages, just to imagine the possibilities. So it's incredible how AI has really generated a lot of growth in certain industries and eliminate a lot of jobs in others. So, but that's how things are when you're, growing this industry. You have to.
That's fair. I personally like John, being able to like mimic my lips and change my language. I wish that was all on TV. Like, just instead of having subtitles or the dub we have now with other voices, just bring in the real humans with the audio dubbed. Is there any industry that you see exploding over the next 5 years that really isn't getting looked at the way it should?
Well, I mean, I talked about prompt engineering, which is definitely a growth industry because the demand is there. And a lot of people are exploring that field, as well as anything to do with AI technology that is growing. Even countries, I believe in China, are banning their AI technology expenditures to become a leader in that area. The U.S. is also trying to catch up with that. So I think there is definitely growth in the industry, and it'll be changing a lot of lives, a lot of times for the better, sometimes for the worse. But as with anything, you need to really try to educate yourself on what's happening by listening to podcasts, reading books, making your car a university on wheels by listening to things that enrich you. And that really is going to make a difference in terms of you staying ahead of the game.
I really didn't realize how much just what you watch gives you a better understanding of the world. Since I started this, I can't even sit down and watch my regular TV anymore, because it's like, well, I could be watching a thought talk on some new technology or listening to a podcast on why the US is in the state it's in, just to learn. It really is a different lifestyle, I think.
And also look at search engines. Google is a popular search engine, but now people are using ChatGPT to do searches. Just think about it. It's really changing the way you think. And when watching TV, people are watching YouTube channel, right? Because they're finding the certain programs, and it's a whole different range of ads on there, which are different compared to traditional TV. People are not tuning into the regular programs anymore. They're looking for specialized channels, and it's grown tremendously in terms of the reach that you connect with people, particularly a lot of seniors are watching YouTube, they're watching TikTok. Who knew, and they're playing video games also. I was watching the other day.
Yep.
And they're chanting
one of the big reasons why I got into this is I had my AI write out an analysis report on media integration in the next 5 years. And it said YouTube is dominating in the next 5 years compared to like traditional networks. And I'm like, this sounds like a great time to get into YouTube. It has been an amazing experience. I have to say that.
Yeah, it's a great platform.
I'm kind of out of questions. Is there anything we haven't covered that you'd like to give our audience?
Absolutely. Where to get my book, The AI LinkedIn Advantage. It's available Amazon as well as Spotify and other fine retailers, both in print form and audio book. They can also go to my website at linkedvantage.com. I have a free ebook, How to Optimize Your Profile, you may want to check out. And also follow me on LinkedIn. Love to.
Sounds good.
Get more followers. That'd be great.
I'll make sure all of your information is down in the description for anybody who wants to reach out. I make sure that everybody has any document they need when coming here, because it's like, I don't want to have to do the work of giving it to you late. Just take it from below. So I'll make sure everything's in the description. And yeah, thank you very much for this time. Like, I'm really gonna now look at your book and try and optimize my LinkedIn, because now I have more work to do. I know I want to set myself up for success, and I know that that's the place where it is. So I may reach out and ask for some help here or there. If you're open to that,
absolutely.
Right.
So
thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, Cody.
And I'll just let you know, because we're still recording, this will get cut out. Editors, please. So what will happen from here is I'll take all these resources. I'll give them my editor. Make sure we have a good, well-rounded conversation. And then I'll give you all the assets. I'll create a RAR file with everything, give you all the assets. So yeah, you can use it as well. And I'll tell you when I post it as well.
That's awesome.
So we'll keep in touch.
Yeah. So first thing to do is connect with me on LinkedIn, which would be a great thing.
Yep.
And then I want to leave you a glowing testimonial for you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it with you before I post it so you can review it and want to add things to it. But I think that in the future, any type of opportunities you get to connect with someone, if they're on LinkedIn, do the same thing. And that'll help grow your profile, because that's really crucial to getting traction on the platform. So that'll be good.
So I'll have to pull it over from the Podmatch site.
All right.
So yeah, thank you very much. No, thanks. Talk to you later.
Have a good one.
Thank you, Al, for coming on and being able to share these insightful ideas with us, the audience. They really got me thinking about what we should do, where we should look at in terms of how I should be marketing myself on LinkedIn. Obviously, I'm going to use the LinkedIn Advantage, or read the LinkedIn Advantage, to be able to harness that power and hopefully kind of increase my business. It'd be nice to have something. Otherwise, you could support the channel by commenting, subscribe, or share with anybody who thinks you would best. If you just want to support the channel, all you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe, or share this with somebody you know. This helps the channel grow immensely. So thank you for staying with us, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care and stay weird.